Hi, it's me, your boyfriend slash girlfriend slash day friend, favorite content creator. And I've been thinking about this for a while now. When you played your first video game or the core games in your childhood, or whenever you started playing game, did you play as the bad guy? When you played these games, were you the one who was the oppressive force? Were you like the demon generals? Were you like the evil corporation? Like, were you playing as those roles, or were you playing those who fought against it? When you were playing on, depending how old you are, like a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, or maybe a DS, or a Wii, or a PlayStation, or PS3, or PS4, whatever console you're playing on, you were playing those video games. I would go on the limb and say you were playing the heroes, right? You were playing the role of the savior. You were playing the role of the rebellion. You were starting the revolution. You were overthrowing some sort of oppressive force. So with that as the understanding, why is it so taboo to be political in the gaming space? Most of the games we play highlight how bad it is to be an oppressive force. There's not that many games out there, and I really can't name it on top of my head, that's like, you are an oppressive force and this is a good thing. We're going to show us as a net positive, right? In fact, a lot of games messaging is political. The messaging is to be a good person. It is to help others. It is to not be selfish. I mean, take a game like, might sound weird, but God of War, right? That God of War series, the original trilogy, was the first two and a half games, part of third game too, was Kratos being so selfish, just angry, destructive, mad at the world, and watching it burn no matter the cost, right? Because he was wronged. But then by the third game, he starts to understand that that was the wrong path and ends up sacrificing himself to give the world a new shot, free from the gods, right? I mean, even in the Ragnarok and in the 2018 version, he is trying his best to not live that life, to be a better person, to impart that wisdom to his son, who is also struggling with identity and anger issues, right? Those are good moral lessons, but at no point does the game show you it's good to be like an Odin, or it's good to be like a Thor, or it's good to be an Ares, or a Zeus, or any of those guys. I've been playing video games my entire life. Literally my entire life. So when people come and ask me like, why are you talking about politics and games? I rebuke with, well, why aren't you? How can you sit here, take these messages of heroism, of bravery, of camaraderie, and then look at the world the way that it is and be like, it's not my place to say anything? That doesn't make any sense to me. How could you have played, like Halo and been like, hell yeah, Master Chief, he's so cool, so awesome. And then when you see like fucked up shit happening by oppressive forces, you're just like, well, not my place. Of course it's your place. You've been playing these games. You've been the hero. You played Mario. You've played Sonic. You played Spider-Man. You played the Batman games. You've played any game you can think of that has like a story. You've been the good guy, or at the very least, you've been the non-oppressive force. And I would say in those rare games where you are playing like at least for the bad guys, like a Papers, Please situation, right? You are there in that position to understand the banality of evil, to understand, to put the face to the atrocities being committed. You are now dictating people live or die, or in that case, in Papers, Please, if they have permission to enter or not, right? These games, I've always been telling you, essentially being a bad person is bad. Being a selfish person is bad. BioShock, one of the themes is, and I don't know why people think this is wrong. Even if the creators say they weren't intentionally trying to do this, there's no way this wasn't their intent, right? is a critique on Ayn Rand's objectivism. You know, the idea of like the great man, right? The idea of you do things for yourself and you should get everything and like fuck everyone else, right? And you saw what happened to Rapture. It was in ruins, right? Because it all fell apart because one man does not a society make. Like, there's so many games in so many ways that tell us when you see something wrong or see something bad, we should at the very least have an emotion about it, right? We should at least look and be like, that's wrong. And I'm not sitting here asking everyone to go out into the streets and start a revolution. Would be sick. But what I'm just saying is, how is it that in this space where, again, most of the people who play games play characters who are heroes, who are heroic, who fight against injustices of multiple types, whether it's in a fantasy setting or like a military sim or whatever you want to call it, right? How are you? Fuck, even people play cozy games. Your games are cozy and you're supposed to be like being loving and being in community and sharing all that shit, right? But how do you guys play these games? And then just at the end of the day be like, yeah, I support ICE. Yeah, I think we should deport all these people. Yeah, we should call them all violent criminals. We should dehumanize them. We should do the same things that if we were in fucking Final Fantasy VII, for example, we'd be Shinra. If you were in Star Wars, you'd be the Empire. Like, all of your fictional heroes would hate you. And for some of the games you guys play, violently dismember you. A la BJ Blazkowicz, right? I don't understand how you can play video games. And I know people want to use excuse like, oh, it's escapism. You are still being taught something. There is still a message to receive. I don't believe you guys when you say you play these games and you don't get the messaging and you just push buttons. Not to. I don't believe that at all. So again, when people ask like, oh, like, why are you so political playing, like, you play video games? I don't think it's possible to play video games and not be political, to be completely honest. You're telling me you played Disco Elysium and got nothing. You played Grand Theft Auto and none of the satire hit you. You played, Metro, nothing. You played Horizon, nothing. I laugh because that's been the topic on my community for a little bit right now. But you played all these games and nothing sit in, nothing. Just look pretty colors. I don't buy that. I believe gamers, I know, shocking, I wouldn't say it, right? But I believe gamers are a lot more intelligent and a lot more capable than people have been perceiving. That's one of the reasons why I do this. I am very tired of gamers being able to skate by people just thinking we're unintelligent, that we don't care about what's happening in the rest of the world, that we don't care what's happening in society, that we're apathetic. I would like to say that we are empathetic. But I'd also like to say that we are also very frightened to show that empathy. And if there's anything video games have shown you, it is do not be afraid. Be brave. It takes bravery to have empathy and understanding. It takes bravery to go against what everyone else is saying and doing, right? I mean, hell, if we're going to take it into somewhat real life, right? I know I'm on a bunch of people's radars, right? I'm on people's radars who I didn't think I would be on. I have large creators who have sent their fans after me. I'm still here. Don't be afraid. You play these video games. You should at the very least understand the idea of fighting against the impossible horde, right? So ask yourself this. Really ask yourself, how can you play video games and not be political?